Obviously, very excited to announce James as skipper for 2017. There's qualities in a leader that you need that are crucial for success, and those qualities James has and is displayed for years now playing for Queensland. Whenever he pulls on that Reds jersey, you get an absolutely committed performance that the players want to play with, and that's an important ingredient. Also, I think we've come through some really difficult times over the last couple of years, and with James, he's growing through that period. You don't get tougher times than what we've had as a leader in the last 12 months, and now to see him grow through that role last year in particular, and then to be able to add in some very senior players with Stephen Moore, George Smith of the likes, will just give his leadership voice even more strength. So I'm very happy to be going into this season in partnership with James. Not at all. No, I've been really open and honest about how I thought James went last year as a leader, and I can see him going on to really and growing to be a even stronger leader with people like the current Wallabies captain here, supporting James. I'm not a traditionalist in a lot of the things I do, and leadership's one of those things. I think gone are the days now where you announce a captain, you announce a vice captain, you get on with it. To get success in sports, I reckon you've seen an evolution now where you really need to grow the individual across the whole group, and that's what I'm attempting to do with this shared leadership model. James is the captain. It's very important to have one person that's making decisions, but to have a leadership group that involves Stephen Moore, involves Quade Cooper, Samu Karevi and Sam Talakai. It's a really powerful group both on the field and off the field. And then the next challenge for us is to continue to grow the next level of leader in this organisation, and that's with this structure. I think it's going to give us a good chance to do that. Seen them grow as individuals. Both of them came into the program about 3 years ago. Both were, they were exciting footballers with a lot of potential, but they had to work very hard to get to the point they have now. Physically, they've worked incredibly hard, and then also how they've worked and grown amongst the group's really important. Those two guys, Samu and Sam Talakai, have got a really good connection socially, off field with the group. They really tie the squad together, and that's probably where I'm talking about that shared leadership model. They're exceptionally good off field and in making sure it's a really good environment where people can enjoy it and turn up and improve.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, it's been a tough couple of years, and it was tough for a lot of people, not just myself. The staff, the coaches, the players. It's all been tough. So for us, we're just looking forward now, and we're excited about 2017. And I've pretty much put to bed what's happened in the past, and just pretty keen to get on with it and lead from the front. I learned to be myself a lot. There was a lot of things happening around, I guess, the outside the team that we couldn't control. So for me, I just worried about what I could control, and that was the players that I had and the coaching staff that were in the same boat. So for me, it was just being myself and trying to lead by example, and that's basically what I learnt the most from last year. I guess moving into this year, there's a lot more experience around me in the squad, so certain things will be easier. By obviously just having that experience in the squad, so that's something to be excited about. Yeah, it's surreal. Obviously, they're legends of the game. I've been lucky enough to play with them for nearly 8 years, so it's good to have them back at the club. Especially Steve and George came in the other week, and it's been, you can just you can feel the pick up in intensity and in training and around the standards and stuff, and that's what those blokes bring. With the experience comes a lot of respect from the other players, and that's going to be good for us moving forward. I don't think that would be a problem. Look, as Stylesy said, it's more of a group leadership. Yes, I've got the captain next to my name, but by no means do I stand out above anyone. we're more going to be working as a team and driving the team towards success. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just basically worrying about what I could. There's certain jobs you have to do as captain, but for me, all I can control was how I could get the best performance out of the players. And you got to remember, we didn't have a coach from round 2 onwards. Well, we had 2. So it's
Is Stephen Moore sitting outside or what?
we had 2. But like those sort of things we couldn't control, and we try to do the best out of it. And by me, I just pretty much just took it for a grain of salt, and that were the cards we were dealt, and we just pushed on, and I just did it the way I naturally thought I could.
It's a lot better balance now, just not having, slips as the main person to do absolutely everything. Like it's a draining job at times being a leader. Your standards that you set and the standards that you're enforcing amongst a group, it can be draining. So now what I'm really happy about is we've got a number of players that can set standards, can enforce standards, and it doesn't just rely on James as being the sole individual to do that. So at the end of the day, I want my best players playing the best football, and this model probably allows them to do that. Very well. I had a chat with Rob. I think we went off for lunch the other day with a few forwards to grill, which was nice, and had a burger there. And I had Simo in the car with me, and he actually front-footed me and said, "Listen, I know we've got some pretty big leaders and some pretty experienced footballers coming to here at the club this year, and I want you to understand, I want to do my best job for the organisation, for the team, and it doesn't matter whether I'm in the leadership group or not." The reality is Rob runs our line out. The connection between Rob and, a Quade Cooper with how we want to play the game and what plays we're calling are going to be really important throughout the season. So he's heavily involved in it, but he doesn't have an official title, and I think that goes for the whole group. You can't put captaincy next to 35 people, but I want to see everyone in this team be a leader. You don't have to be the most experienced person to put your hand up and contribute, and Rob and Nick Frisbee and those guys are definitely going to do their job for us. Yeah, I think too on the back of that Wallabies tour to the UK, where he admittedly, he'll tell you himself, he played his best football he's played for a long time. It was consistent football, and to be able to then hopefully continue that form, starting in a couple of weeks' time, will be great for the Reds. And not having an official leader, it takes a bit of responsibility off him, but he's motivated to play well. Listen, you want quality individuals around you. You want quality individuals in your coaching staff. You want quality individuals in your playing staff, playing group, and that's definitely the characteristics that we've gone about signing. Bringing in Stephen Moore and George Smith. Being extremely successful, extremely professional in everything they've done. You don't get to play to the ages that they're at without being a professional, and I think those things that they learnt throughout their career that they do now and do it exceptionally well, they can pass that down to the next crop of exciting young football. And we've got some really good talented footballers here that if we can ingrain into them at the ages of 21, 22 what it is to be an ultimate professional, it means we're going to have ongoing success here. And I'm looking short term, but we're looking long term as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I contemplated every player in the group. The thing with George, the great thing with George is that whether he's got a title on him or not, that what he contributes to the group is outstanding. George only arrived, a week ago. So for me, the work that the group's done over the last 4 months, they've worked exceptionally hard and they've already formed some really strong bonds. So I think it was probably important for George to come in and just to settle in and earn the respect, which is a pretty easy thing for someone like George to do without giving him a title straight away. And, Slips alluded to before that he's been heavily involved around providing feedback already to the group. And it's just when those blokes speak, they speak with authority and players listen. They get sick of listening to an old coach talking, and so being able to have guys like James and George and Squeaky talking is great for me. I think we all mature, don't we, as we get older? He's firstly a pretty competitive person, isn't he? He's an elite athlete. And they're a couple of characteristics you want in your squad, because it's tough to win Super Rugby. And so to recruit someone like him with the natural abilities that he's got, the drive to be better, is important. And at the end of the day, you want him to be a driver of our game plan. You know, he's not a creator, he's not an inventor, but what he is a driver. And to have him involved in the leadership group was important, and it gives him a lot of responsibility around the group, and he's pretty excited about that. Yeah, really good. I had a spar with Chopper a week or two ago, and I put my hand up to have a go against him, but he knocked me back. Wasn't enough money involved in it for him. So, no, listen, it hasn't missed a beat. He trained heavily with the rugby program leading into the fight, and then he came back on Monday and just picked up and has gone full steam ahead.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see him out there, really. He trained so hard, leading into it, doing both. And, yeah, he fought well and got the win.
Okay.
Stand! Up! Go, go, go! Chat, chat! Yellow line! Next it! Eyes on him! Go, Scotty! Go again, boys. Go, Max. One here. Go to one. Get around, boys. Let's go.